I'm avoiding legal snacks by telling you you're recorded right now.
Wait, I'm being recorded? Bye.
All right, welcome everybody to the second episode of the ZSBS, where we actually have video this time, which is interesting. So right next to me, this guy right here is a little freak, and we're going to. I'm just kidding. Zach, tell everybody how your day was. How was your day? Or yeah, that was your last week.
How was my last week, or how was my day?
How was your last week? Let's start with last week, and then we'll work our way toward today.
So this past week's been all right. Pretty uneventful. I went and got groceries. I watched some football. Did some homework.
Can we elaborate on that at all?
I did.
Are we just gonna?
Huh?
Can we elaborate at all a little bit?
I don't want to elaborate on that.
You don't want to elaborate?
I did hear back from the Federalist Monday, I believe. I can go ahead and double check in my email.
And they shot you down.
They just said that they'd consider.
I don't know what that means.
It was I think the email exactly read, "Thank you.
It's basically a no?
We'll consider." I don't know if it's a no. It was on Wednesday.
So it's basically a no?
I don't know if it's a no. I'm probably going to wait till this coming Wednesday before I post that article on our site, just in case. It's a newsroom. It takes a while to get things done. So I'll give them a week to respond again. But if it's not back in a week, I'll put it up on the website. It's a pretty good article, everybody. I was impressed with myself.
You impressed yourself?
I impressed myself.
It was good. It was good. Really boring today, but that AB nonsense kept it a little interesting. So that threw everybody for a loop. So if anybody doesn't know, which everybody should know, Antonio Brown was released by the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just acting a fool. So what was the original? The original controversy was like something about a helmet, right?
So actually, that's not the original controversy. This goes back before the helmet thing, even. So,
really?
Yeah, he was in a cryo chamber of some kind, like a freezing chamber to help him heal from practice or something.
Yeah.
And his feet got frostbitten, and he couldn't play for a couple weeks. So that was the first thing. And this happened outside of a team facility, so it wasn't an in-house thing. It was an outside thing. So that's obviously a big deal. Secondly, in early August, he comes out and says, "I'm going to retire if I can't play with the helmet I played with last year with the Steelers." So, but the NFL ruled that he couldn't play with that helmet. And then, so that was the second part of it. He then filed a lawsuit to try and play with the helmet, and the Raiders supported him in that lawsuit. Following that, he was fined $200,000. Or no, he was going to be fined, and then he got into an altercation with the GM. And some words were said, some stuff happened. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, keep talking.
Okay.
I'm listening.
You're just wiggling around a whole lot.
Sorry.
Like a fish out of water.
I am a fish out of water.
Okay.
Constantly.
So following the altercation with the GM, he was fined $200,000. And wait, actually, no. Following the altercation with the GM, he gave an apology to the team for his behavior. Apparently, it was an emotional apology to the team for his behavior.
I doubt it.
That's how it was reported.
No, well.
And then John Gruden called him and talked to him on the phone
And he released that. I saw the
and then he
audio.
recorded it without John
recorded
Gruden's
it.
permission, and then posted
Which
it
is
on
illegal in
YouTube.
California.
Yeah,
Which is illegal in California.
Yeah. So if John Gruden wanted to press charges, he could.
Oh, he definitely could. I might have.
The Raiders organization actually could.
Yeah.
Which I probably would if I was them, just to
Hell yeah, just to
F with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
just to you know.
Because they screwed him. He screwed the Raiders.
Heck yeah.
They traded
It's almost as if he didn't want to even play for him. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like he didn't even want to play for him. So he made it as difficult as possible. Even in the press conference with John Gruden, he was telling the press basically, we gave him every shot. And they kept trying to ask him like about AB and like how their offense would be, hurt and stuff, and he just kept saying like, as a team, we all, even the captains included, I guess Derek Carr and everybody was a huge movement to try and get him to buy into the program.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't.
Well, I mean, right after he got traded to the Raiders, not traded, right after the Raiders picked him up, Antonio Brown went straight to Derek Carr's house and hung out with him.
Yeah, no.
So it's just bizarre. The whole thing's bizarre. But looks like we have our next diva in professional football.
Our next diva. There's several of them right now.
Our next big one. Okay. It's really hard.
It's the one in the news right now. It's the diva in the news right now.
It's really hard to get yourself released from a team that traded 2 draft picks for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So
I understand that.
Yeah.
But there's other divas that are probably just as big of divas. Their team just, hasn't gotten fed up with their crap yet.
Like who?
I would say Cam Newton's one of them.
Really?
I think he's a better leader, just as a QB.
I don't think he's a diva.
But he's a diva, 100%.
I don't know about
100%
that.
He's a diva.
I don't know about
that. Absolutely.
All right.
There's other examples too. I could rattle a few off. I think Jameis Winston's a diva.
I think Jameis Winston just sucks.
I think he sucks too. I think he's a diva.
I don't think he's a diva.
You don't think so?
No.
He sure acts like a diva. I'm gonna eat that W. Oh, eat it.
That's not a diva move. That's an idiot.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a diva and an idiot.
No, he thinks he looks good doing that.
I know he does, but
he's wrapped
stupid.
in up himself.
It doesn't matter.
He's so wrapped up in on himself. Like that seems like a good thing to do.
I don't think it's a diva move.
Okay. We can agree to disagree.
Just stupid.
We can agree to disagree. I didn't write down a whole list of things to go through today.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you what do you want to talk about today? What was in the news that you wanted to talk about? Because I've been listening to the news quite a bit. I saw that my least favorite tennis player of all time at current moment lost, so that's great. First time I've ever rooted against an American. Yeah, I'm a racist.
That's just because you're a racist.
Absolutely a racist. 100%.
I was seeing that on Twitter today. Everyone that has a criticism of Serena Williams is a racist.
Yeah. That must be it. I'm just.
I felt really bad for that girl playing her. Did you watch it at all?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to watch her. I didn't want to watch her because I lose both ways. A, an American loses. B, Serena Williams wins. I don't win watching that. I'm not a winner.
I watched it just because every game at the time, except for one, was a blowout, and it was in the second quarter. So I can get away with, watching women's tennis because it's the U.S. Open, Mm-mm. But I felt really bad for the girl playing Serena Williams.
Yeah.
Because the entire crowd.
Yeah.
It was she had gone up 5-1 in the second set, and this was. What are you doing?
No, you keep talking.
She was up 5-1 in the second set.
There we go.
Had her at match point. like
Mm-hmm.
championship point. And
Yeah.
the crowd is just going crazy whenever Serena hits a shot. And I felt really bad for her because Serena battled back, got to 5-5.
Well, you felt bad for Serena, or
No,
you
I
felt
felt
playing
bad for
Serena?
the girl because this was her first championship appearance, first
Mm-hmm.
Grand Slam title appearance, and I felt really bad about. She was up. She had won. It was 5-5. Then she won the next game, made it 6-5, but she
Mm-hmm.
got to win by 2. So she it was match point again. It was championship point again, and she faults on her first serve, and the crowd cheers. That makes
Yeah.
me feel terrible about United States. You don't cheer when someone messes up. You cheer when someone hits a good shot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's part of. I mean, anybody will tell you. So one of my best friends, he's a tennis professional, tennis coach or whatever, and he'll get super pissed when you cheer when someone messes up because you just don't do that.
It's
You just don't do that.
unsportsmanlike.
It's
It's so
extremely unsportsmanlike.
unsportsmanlike.
It's against tennis etiquette. Like
Yeah.
you cheer when you hit a winner, like
Yeah.
winners,
Like
but not
winners,
when they mess
or
up.
if you hit a hard shot and they can't return it.
Absolutely.
That's when you can cheer. But when
Absolutely.
someone faults on a serve and you're cheering, you really need to check yourself. Because that was messed up, and it like honestly made me feel bad for the girl because she's 19.
Well, no, I got a glimpse into who Serena actually is whenever she lost to Osaka. That gave me the whole picture that I needed. That gave me the whole picture of who Serena Williams is as a person, and it ain't pretty.
What happened when she lost to Osaka just to catch everybody up?
So yeah, so she played Osaka. So Osaka is a young half black, half Japanese. She goes by under the Japanese flag. She speaks pretty good English, if I remember. Really good English, actually, if I remember. But she plays underneath the Japanese flag anyway. So she was playing in, I think it was the U.S. Open. I'm almost 100% sure it was the U.S. Open.
I
Anyway,
think
it was
it
one
was
of.
because Serena's lost like 8 Grand Slam title appearances in a row or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, so it was in the U.S. Open, I think. And so Osaka beat her, right? But
Mm-hmm.
during the match, so listen to this. So during the match, the ref caught Serena Williams cheating. She
Yeah. Oh
caught
yeah. I remember
coaching
this. I remember
signals.
this.
And yes, it is true that people do that and some people get away with it.
Yeah.
But if you get caught, you get a penalty. And so your first penalty is a point. And so she argued it, right? She was fierce. She said, "You're a thief." So he gave Osaka a game. So it goes point, game, set. She almost got the set taken from her, which would have been an automatic win because it was on the second set if I remember correctly. So she would have lost automatically if the ref had given her, and he should have, because she would not stop, dude. And so she kept playing, lost to Osaka. Serena wouldn't even give him a handshake. Wouldn't even give Osaka a handshake. Everybody's booing.
Yeah.
Everybody is booing this girl. This girl is 18, 19 years old. Looked up to Serena Williams her entire life, only to get booed winning a Grand Slam title. That is insane, and everyone should look at that forever and say Serena Williams is a freaking slut whore. I'm gonna say it. Like I wanna say the B word. I want to say the B word so bad. I want to say it so bad.
I would argue that what you just said is worse.
Really? She is such a horrible person. Like, oh my gosh, that infuriated me. Oh my gosh, that infuriated me. And I don't even watch that much tennis. But I had always rooted for Serena. Whenever I saw her, because A, she's American, B, she's got a really good story, coming up. against all adversity and beating everybody that came across, becoming probably arguably the best female tennis player of all time.
Yeah.
You know, and for her to act like she did, and then go in the press conference and say that it was racist and sexist that kept her down, because I guess guys get away with it all the time, which isn't true. They get called all the time.
Another thing happened
that. I watch YouTube videos, and guys get called for it all the time.
Yeah.
And they fight it too.
And then they get called for the game.
Yeah.
Because it's happened before with the same judge. The judge that was ruling that match had done it to a guy like the previous tournament.
It's not sexist, lady. It's just you got caught cheating.
You got caught cheating and then got mad about it.
Yeah, that's just like Lance Armstrong. I'm sorry. You got caught cheating. Even though everybody does it, supposedly. You got caught.
You got caught. And bicycling, it's almost like confirmed that everyone does it. I mean, they've had to go back to like.
Well, they tested like the next 10 guys to try and get.
They all tested positive. They had to give it to like the 17th place guy because he tested.
No, they didn't even award it.
Oh, they didn't?
I don't know. I don't think they gave it out.
I thought they gave it to like
because they went so far down the line. I think they went so far down the line they were like, we can't do this. So technically, that Tour de France that they found, that all those people did, it's an unawarded Tour de France. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not. I don't know anything about it because I don't care about bicycling, to be honest.
I don't know who does besides French people.
The French.
Vive
la bicycle!
Vive la bicycle! Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So, what do we want to talk about today as far as politics go?
Did you see any of that 7-hour CNN town hall on climate change?
I'm sure you did.
Oh man,
I listened. I saw all their
golly,
their solutions.
I wonder why the DNC didn't want to do it. I wonder why.
Because it
was the worst thing ever.
It looked like an Al Gore fever dream.
No, okay, it was even worse than that, right?
It was an Al Gore wet dream.
People watching the town hall were literally talking like, okay, this is like perfect ammunition for Republican ad makers.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't make this crap up, the stuff that they were saying.
Well, no one. Did you realize that no one, not one Democratic candidate, said that the Green New Deal was a horrible idea?
No.
Not a single one. And the Green New Deal had nothing to do with the environment, by the way.
No. Even the Saikat Chakrabarti, the guy that basically wrote the thing, he even says, like, it doesn't really have to do with the environment. It's about transforming the economy of the United States.
Yeah. It's like, it baffles me that even Andrew Yang would not say that. That just goes to show that he's just kind of bought into the system. I really believe he has.
I think he realizes what he has to do to win.
To win the leftist side of the party first.
Yeah.
Yeah, to win
and that's basically where he's going, or what he's going for. Because I think internally he's more moderate, but I think he's saying that kind of stuff because he knows that with his proposal of universal basic income, the only people that are gonna vote for him are the way left people. Because people in the middle, or people more centrist Democrats, they don't really like the idea of UBI.
I think more of them are buying into that than you think. I really do. And I think some centrist Republicans are buying into it. I don't think it...
Yeah. I think I would call those centrist Republicans, because I'm a centrist Republican.
Populists.
I'd call them populists.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely those on the left too.
Because we're nowhere near the point to where UBI would be
needed. Yeah.
Or
yeah, I think that's
we're nowhere near where it'd be necessary or possible.
Yeah, I think it's well overestimated. Because here's the thing. our economy is almost like, I think what was it when I did it in college? I think it was 80% service, 20% manufacturing.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So like you're going to overhaul the whole thing because you're going to give it out for the 20% manufacturing.
Well, and
because the
with
service jobs, most service jobs are not going to be automated for a while.
yeah. Now, when service jobs start getting automated, that's when UBI might become necessary. But
Well, not just when they start, it would need to be like after like 50% of service jobs have been.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
and people pushing for $15 minimum wage, that's going to happen sooner.
Yeah.
But a big problem again.
I don't think they realize what they're actually doing.
Yeah, and another problem with UBI is that it doesn't necessarily provide meaning to someone's life. Like a lot of people find their meaning in their work.
Yeah,
I know.
that was Ben's argument.
And you see people that are on like welfare, a lot of them never get off because there's no drive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes they do get off, and I commend the people that do. But when they
Yeah.
don't get off, normally it's because there's nothing saying, "Oh, I need to get back to." There's nothing saying, "Oh, this sucks," but they're basically saying this sucks, but I can live like this.
See, I would be totally in favor for it if and only if they replace they use that to replace welfare programs already in place.
Yeah, and that's what you'd have to do, but I don't think
I'd be 100% in.
I don't think Andrew Yang could propose that and be okay.
Well, see, I'm more. This is the thing. So I've taken, we've both taken the political compass.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am more centrist than you. I don't know if a lot of people know that.
I don't think you are.
I am. I'm like just right of center and just low. So I'm just off to the right and just libertarian enough.
I am one dot
to be just.
I'm one dot to the right, and I'm like very libertarian.
No, I know. You're like almost on the edge of the graph.
I'm like, so this is the graph.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like down here to the right.
Yeah. No, I know. But I'm actually very centrist. So when it comes to like welfare and stuff, I'm cool with it. But I need there to be like stringent things.
Yeah,
like stringent regulation on it.
And
on top of that is I would actually be for less stringent regulation if we're just going to give out money and replace that with the welfare already in place. You know how much we spend on welfare?
It's 60% of our national budget.
Yeah, well, 60% of our national budget, and a lot of that, 80% of that is in salaries. If you just give someone a check, think about all the public sector jobs you're getting rid of.
Yeah.
Win-win. You know what I mean?
But you wouldn't be able to get away with a proposal like that.
I know you wouldn't because the left
loves
no
one will touch Social Security, no one will touch welfare. They won't touch Medicaid and Medicare. They won't touch these things. So because it's basically political suicide. Although 15 years, all of it's gonna be basically savable.
Yeah.
They're all tanking.
They are all tanking.
And people are basically screwing people like me and you because they won't address the issue.
Yep. Totally agree with you. But that's just the thing. I wish someone would fall on the landmine. Like just fall on the grenade.
Well,
because what we need, I thought that's what Andrew Yang was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was really expecting a really straightforward campaign.
Yeah.
And since he's announced and since he's gone on like Ben's show and stuff, he's he's walked kind of to the left, but like just the stuff that he's done, like, oh, I could beat Donald Trump in an arm wrestling contest. Like silly little stuff like that does not matter
Yeah.
He's doing it because it's the entertainment factor of
Yeah.
what is now politics. And it's like,
and
dude,
the problem is, I think his appeal would be that he would be above it.
that's the whole point.
It's the same thing with Marco Rubio when he said that thing about Trump's little hand.
Oh yeah, that's when I
that
just
was
like,
not his campaign strategy.
No,
That
he ran away from his camp.
Yeah. All the support that was supporting him because he was, the guy that stayed above it all, ran
Not
to
just
Ted
above
Cruz.
it all. Not just above it all. He was the guy that was gonna get things done both left and right because he was able. He showed through his legislative tenure, which was very short, but he showed that he was willing to work with Democrats.
Yeah.
Like his campaign was the centrist campaign.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He went low.
Yeah.
Went for the low blow. He went to Trump's level. And the thing that's Trump's magic power. You can't stoop to his level.
Yeah. But everyone wants to.
Everyone wants to. So we can talk about that a little bit if you want.
Before we do, I wanted to. Did you see the meme I sent you earlier? The Daily Wire?
I just got it. Was it on the tweets? Was it tweeted to me?
Yeah.
Yes, it's in my messages.
So basically, the Daily Wire put out this meme about Pete Buttigieg.
Uh-huh.
Because he said, if you eat meat or use a straw, you're part of the problem. And then the Daily Wire put together a cut of all those crime shows going zoom, enhance. If we can get the algorithm right.
That was great.
He's like,
that was awesome.
In two pictures, he's seen flipping chicken on a grill and just using a plastic cup with a straw.
Yeah, that was the best thing ever. I saw that and I just started laughing my butt off.
That was pretty good.
That was awesome. Whoever made that was.
Well, I think they just hired a new social media person.
Oh really?
So yeah. So
that was awesome. And did you see the tweet that Trump had? So this is what I was kind of going to go off on. After at the end, did you see the tweet about that he pinned on his Twitter?
No, what'd he say?
Oh my gosh! So it's a video, right? And I can overlay the video on top of this video, but it's where is it? Oh, did he unpin it? Oh, please don't tell me he unpinned it.
Let me look. I can cut all this out and post.
Oh, that's even better. Dude, so this is what he did. So he had this video, and he didn't make it. Someone made a meme where it was CNN, and this was way early, so you can tell it's a joke. So this was like a week ago, right? And that's and CNN, the CNN guy, when Don Lemon asked him what states was it going to hit, he said Alabama, and then it just kept repeating Alabama. Then it changed to a car or a truck. I think it was a truck on a highway running off the road with CNN logo plastered over it, and it just caught on fire, hitting like a bunch of trees.
Oh, dude, I gotta find that. That sounds hilarious.
That was just so great. And Don Lemon freaking went on his show and was like, this was taken, like he fact checked it. He was like, this was like a week ago, back when this was thought. Why would he use an old thing? It's like, dude, it's Twitter. Shut up. Like, it's literally him joking. Did you find it? Please tell me you found it. It's one of the best things you'll ever see.
That's great.
Isn't that awesome?
That's fantastic.
Dude, that man is a legend.
Oh, did you see what he said about Kirsten Gillibrand leaving the race?
Yeah, he's like, too bad. I guess they'd never find out.
Democrats never found out. She was the one I was really afraid of.
And Democrats took it so seriously. They were
my god.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, God, he actually is a troll.
Dude, he's the best. He's troll in chief. Troll in chief. Donald Trump. Troll in chief.
Oh,
President Troll.
It was
President
just so
Donald Troll.
Did you read my article on Hong Kong, my new one?
No, but you can fill us in.
So the Hong Kong protests did get a win.
I'm gonna send this to you as well.
Okay.
This is the best thing ever, dude. His Twitter is freaking lit right now. Lit hashtag fam. Oh my gosh! All right, I sent it to you, dude. That is hilarious.
So the Hong Kong protesters did get a win this past week.
Oh, that's good. I saw the headline. I didn't read
Yeah.
the story.
So what happened is they did pull the extradition bill, so that won't be on the table anymore. But that is actually only one of their 5 demands that they made.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go to my Argo, figure out the rest. I remember a couple of them. So one of them was that the protesters arrested by the police during the protest would be released. And one of the reasons that they made this demand is over 900 people were arrested protesting this extradition bill during the course of the summer. Obviously, that's a massive issue.
Yeah.
But another one was that the leader of the city would step down. Her name's Carrie Lam. Another one was that there would be an inquiry.
Sorry, go ahead.
That there would be an inquiry into police brutality. Carrie Lam, who is still in office, did say that there would be an inquiry into police brutality, but I doubt. I said in the article, I doubt that that'll satisfy the protesters, seeing as they want her out as soon as possible. And then they also asked for greater democratic freedoms for the people of Hong Kong. So, for instance, not everyone in Hong Kong is allowed to vote right now. They don't have universal suffrage in Hong Kong, and that's one of the other things that they were protesting for. So, so it is a win, but I don't think that the protests are going to stop just because the extradition bill was billed. Just because there's so many other things that the people are fighting for. They had several leaders of the protest arrested. I believe the charge was inciting an unlawful gathering or something like that.
Riot? Soliciting?
Incitement to take part in an unauthorized assembly.
Sounds a little vague.
So basically that means that they were telling people to join the protest if they care about these issues. So that's what was going on. I'm not sure if the protests have stopped. I can check on that real quick, but
that sounds like it would be, legal in America.
Oh, no, they have not stopped. Hong Kong protesters chant murderers, demand more concessions. That was 9 hours ago by the New York Times. The Hong Kong protesters planned march to U.S. Embassy, and that's 17 minutes ago by U.S.
Did someone die?
They must have.
They had to.
I can't believe that no one has died in these protests. Just seeing how violent they've been, I'd be shocked.
Well, they're chanting murderer. Right?
So the government says that no one has died.
But clearly the protesters think someone's died.
Yes.
So
it's a
little
from
scary.
scmp.com. Student leaders have revealed that they received death threats and their personal information exposed after helping their peers protest against Hong Kong.
Sounds like they think someone's already dead. Just saying.
Today's protest focused on Prince Edward Station in Kowloon after two young women and a man took to their knees to implore train authority to release CCTV footage. Some believe they are hiding because it shows that police did kill a protester.
Whoa.
That is thetimes.co.uk. 2 days ago.
Whoa, dude, that's insane. Well, keep reporting on that.
I'll keep updating with articles as long as this is going on.
Please do. Because that's insane.
Does not look like a good situation right now.
No, not even a little bit. Not remotely.
And you know what? Donald Trump still refusing to mention this when he talks about his trade war.
Which is still insane.
It's absolutely insane.
Does he own any Trump property in Hong Kong?
I can check that. Oh, actually, if I do find some, I'll put it in my next article.
Please do.
Because if that is the case, that would piss me off.
That's interesting.
Because if he's not commenting on it because of personal ties to Hong Kong, I'm going to be very upset.
That might be why.
I might vote third party.
That might be why.
These people are fighting for democracy. They're fighting for universal suffrage, and they're being denied by a communist government in China who is trying to enforce harsh laws on a city.
Not just that, they're trying to go in, right?
They put troops and heavy
on the border
and I believe tanks on the border.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a frightening situation for Hong Kong. It's not looking good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it at all. Well, just keep everyone up to date with that.
I will. I'll probably have an article out tomorrow on everything we just talked about, and I'll probably get more information on the protesters believing that someone was killed by police. So.
Yeah. I will say, I wrote the article today on the whole how the left has lost their sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of, I don't want to say in depth, it's only 500 words, but it's like, I before I wrote the article, so I was just thinking back to at what moment do I remember this being an issue?
Mm-hmm.
Where the left takes something that's
a joke, very, very
seriously. So seriously.
Yeah.
And so, if I could just find it right now. So, see,
I must have happened. I think it must have happened during the 2016 election. I think it had to have.
Oh yeah, no. So I wrote this article, right? Let me see if I can find it.
Because I remember I used to like Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert on the Colbert Report.
No, yeah, I did too.
They were funny.
Well, less Colbert.
I like the Colbert Report. He was
still funny. He was still funny, but he was just hitting the right. Whereas, the Daily Show was just hitting everybody.
I know, but Colbert's jokes were still funny. He still told jokes. He wasn't trying to be Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, true.
Who, again, tries to tell jokes, but they're both not funny.
They're not funny. Yeah, exactly. So here's the article. So it's called "The Left Has No Humor Left."
Okay, we get it.
So I was just saying how, over the past few years, the left in this country has, and I make sure that I'm not talking about just Democrats and liberals. I'm talking about left, people leftist, right? I like to make that distinction.
It's a good distinction to make.
It's a good distinction to make. Because I have a lot of liberal friends. And so, and I just say that they lost all humor and self-awareness. And I point back to SNL.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't them. This is not quite them not having a sense of humor about something that's a joke. It's more so like them making jokes that aren't funny at first.
Yeah.
So, for instance, you remember SNL with the Alec Baldwin Trump sketches, which at first, like the first one, all right.
It was okay.
Second one, okay. After about the 15th one, it's just like.
It gets to the point where it's just repetitive.
No, so I say, This is a great line. So I said, they just failed to realize that they were already beating the decomposed horse that was Donald Trump is dumb humor. I said it continued with CNN taking all of the president's tweets totally seriously. So seriously, Christian fundamentalists were even complaining that the president was being taken out of context.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
So,
thing. That's the thing. And so many people, so many liberals, not leftists, so many liberals have pointed out that's like they've turned into like the puritanical right
oh yeah,
when
from
it
like
comes
the
to
90s.
humor. Yeah, from like
From
the
80s
90s.
and 90s.
Yeah, from the 80s and 90s.
Absolutely.
It's like, guys, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Or guys, we get it.
Yeah.
No one on the right. Well, I'm not gonna say no one on the right because there are
Don't
dumb.
say no one on the right.
There
Don't
are
say no one on the
some
right.
pretty dumb.
There. I had this guy.
Most people on the
I'll
right realize Donald Trump not super bright.
Not just not super bright. Many of us realize not a great guy.
Not a great guy.
Not a genuinely good human being.
Now there are people on the right that try and justify that and say, I hate this, but they say, well, David was a man who had problems, and God uses people in all different kinds of ways, and
I hate that argument.
God is using Donald Trump.
I hate that
normally
argument so goddamn much.
When people say that, normally there will be people going like, yeah, and it's to any sane person, they're like, you're an idiot. He's the president of the United States, not chosen by God.
Well, not just no. Even if he is, let's make the argument that he's chosen by God. You know, like let's for just assuming this guy's chosen by God. How would you know that?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm sorry. Are you claiming that you had like a dream, like a vision? No. These people.
Remember that one guy did.
That. Oh, that one guy did.
That one guy, the video you showed me in like 2016, the guy was like,
God. No, that was a lady, wasn't it? On
no,
CNN?
it was a guy. He was
sure
in Israel. He was in Israel, and he was like,
oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I'm in Israel, and I had a dream.
I had a
dream last night. And, I've been fighting over whether or not Donald Trump is a good enough person to lead the United States. And God spoke to me last night.
I hate those
And it's
people.
just like,
I can't stand.
You make every Christian look bad when you say shit like
Not just that. Like, this is one reason, and I'm going to tell you this. This is one reason why I think Jordan Peterson is actually a really, really good human being. And that is because if you listen to, like, if you dive deep into like his conversations, he has had religious experiences in which he believes that God was telling him something, or something was telling him something, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not what you would call your typical fundamentalist Christian. He's more of like I want to say a deist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He'd be like even more of a deist than Jefferson.
Yeah. So he was in his conversation, he has those like supernatural experiences. And so like, but you would never know that if you listen to his like lectures.
Yeah.
He doesn't insert himself into the lectures. And just like he doesn't insert himself to say those things outright. Like he hides them. He's like, okay, these things, they could just be, I don't want to use this as a go-to. Not just, I don't want to use this as a go-to. I don't want to let this thing, be something that makes me lose credibility to someone that might otherwise listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I hear people like that guy, the guy that I sent you, the guy in Israel.
Yeah.
I just shake my head because I dealt with those people.
Yeah.
Like, I went to a Christian liberal arts university in Lakeland, Florida.
And you were also in Chi Alpha.
That I will not speak its name. And they would tell me
Can I say its name?
No. No. And they would literally say that they had God speak to them. And not just that they had God speak to them. That God told them a specific thing. And then they would proceed to tell you that specific thing as if they were God. And it's like, couldn't you have done that in a way where you didn't invoke God's name, but you said that that's what God wants for us, and pointed it, because this is the other thing. Christians, if you're a Christian and you believe that the Bible is not literal, but if you believe that it's consistent, right, in its application, then you should believe that if I have a message from God, that I should be able to just point to a scripture that can back up my case without me saying, hey, I got this message from God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because if it was consistent, then even if God did tell you something, you'd be able to point to something in the Bible and say, see, this is what he's talking about when he told me this.
Exactly. And this is me saying, and this, remember, we're making a lot of assumptions here. We're making the assumption that God actually talks to people.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't know.
I'm very, very skeptical.
I think he could. I think it's possible. So
here's the thing, and this is probably going to, if our family's watching this, probably going to make some of them angry. But, like, I don't know if I've ever, and not don't know, I'm pretty sure I've never heard God's voice. Now, like, as a Christian, I talk to him all the time, right? Like, I sin a lot, but I talk to him all the time. Like, especially when I find myself in times of hardship, I'll just talk to him. Almost like he's standing right next to me, you know what I mean? But, like, I don't hear anything back. But the funny thing is, things happen. This is actually one of the reasons why I do still believe, and I know this is getting off into the kind of the weeds here, but this is one of the reasons why I still do believe, is because, like, my life has taken steps that seem too coincidental to be a coincidence, if you know what I'm saying.
Isn't that the definition of coincidental?
Yes, but it's too coincidental. Like, it's too good to be true that it's random.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm a very faithful Christian, but I don't know if I believe that he talks to people. Not in the verbal communication sense. He may communicate. Obviously, I've just made the case that he communicates through my life events, but I don't know about the verbal thing, man. That's hard for me.
I would agree.
That's so hard for me. Like, I meet it with such skepticism whenever somebody tells me that. And maybe that's because I went to a Christian college and I saw how they acted behind the scenes versus what they said.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason, but, like, I don't know about that. I don't know, man. I don't know. So then, in this article, so it's I just talk about the Dave Chappelle thing, and I know we've talked about that last week.
Yeah.
But, like, I was just saying how, we've hit a snag somewhere where, so this is the point, and I don't think we made this point last week. But if you really think about what were the critics so mad about, and what did Chappelle say that offended people so much? The answer was that he made fun of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And not just everybody, he especially made fun of the T's in the LGBT. So he referred to them as the T's in the special. And the joke itself was about them being offended by everything. Yeah. The joke itself.
Not only that
was about them being offended by everything. And what did they do? They got offended by a joke, saying they get offended by everything.
About that, I don't even think that's what the joke was about. I think
it was.
The joke was that being born in another person's body is a hilarious predicament. It's just a crazy, like that he finds it funny. And apparently a lot of other people do too, 99%.
Hashtag 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
99% audience score?
Oh my gosh.
And it was just like, the joke was, I feel bad for these people, but it is a hilarious predicament.
Yeah. Dude,
And then,
even Will
but
Shakespeare.
the people that
even
got
Will
mad,
Shakespeare knew. Go ahead.
the people that got mad weren't even the T's. It
Yeah.
was people on behalf of the T's.
No, it was teas. It was teas. Those, if you look at the critics that initially had the 5 critics that had that 0% rating, all 5 out of 6 were trans.
Really?
Dead ass.
I didn't know that.
Dead ass. So, no, it was them. It was them.
Oh my God! This reminds me.
Now that's not saying all trans people got offended, but that
Did you?
they definitely did.
So It 2 came out, right? You know It 2?
The
Chapter
movie
2?
that I'm not gonna see.
The movie you're not going to see. I really want to see it because
Yeah,
I
that
really
one.
liked 1. The first scene, apparently, this is all conjecture because I just saw a tweet about it on Twitter. Apparently, the first scene opens up with the monster, It, killing,
Pennywise.
catching and killing 2 gay men, and people were pissed off about it because they were gay.
You're fucking kidding me.
Oh God, dude, I wish I was.
You're kidding me. People
No.
are freaking out about
There was
that.
a guy on there. It's like, God, I gotta find the tweet. Ah, fuck.
You're
I'll
joking.
send it to you later. I'll send it to you later. If you can't, I'll send it to you after this. And if you can find, and if I find it and I send it to you, put it up on screen. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's gonna go up on screen. Send it to me. I'll put it up on screen.
So yeah, he basically goes, warning to LGBT plus people going to see It Chapter 2. The first scene, It stalks and kills 2 gay men. This scared the shit out of me or whatever. Just a warning. Or something along those lines.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
not only did he like freak out about this thing that's insignificant,
yeah.
he gave a spoiler
Yeah.
without a spoiler alert.
Well,
That's the big thing.
The stupidest part about this is,
That's the worst part.
are you saying that It is so should be so repulsed by gay men he wouldn't kill them? That's very interesting.
Well,
Are you homophobic?
Not just that. Isn't he the evil character?
Yeah.
Don't
Wouldn't
you
you
hate
say
him
like
even more?
It hates gays? That's why he's bad. He hates the gays.
It's not that he tries to kill children.
No. It's the gays.
No, it's the gays. It's all the gays.
Holy shit.
Dude, that's the best thing I've heard all day.
Oh, dude, I gotta find that tweet and send it to you because, oh my God, it blew my mind. I was like,
blew my mind. Blew my mind.
Blew my mind because I was like,
good?
where is this guy's head at that he thinks that the story, like the film writers are trying to say something?
I hate the people like that. They've done that. Like if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, there's reviews that do that. They did that with The Last Jedi.
About what?
Like about how like people were complaining that like Rey, like people who are genuine about watching movies complain about Rey. It wasn't Last Jedi. Oh, it was. No, it was about The Last Jedi. That Rey didn't receive any training on the thing where she was supposed to receive training. And on top of that, not only did she not receive training, suddenly she was even more BA at everything.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, people were saying, like, that these people don't know what they're talking about. It was a cinematic masterpiece. Yada yada yada. It's women breaking the glass ceiling, and people just can't stand it.
Well, I mean, I think we've had this conversation before, but like, cinematography-wise, arguably one of the best movies.
Oh yeah,
for cinematography, beautifully shot.
If you look back at that one lightsaber scene that I thought was so freaking BA, it's not
the one in the throne room. No,
it's not that BA. If you look at it like frame by frame,
if you take it apart,
they're swinging at nothing.
Yeah, if you take it apart, it doesn't make any sense.
No, she kicks one leg and somehow hits 3 people.
Yeah.
Like 3 people fly back. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think that's how physics works.
No. From watching football for a long time and playing, one person running into 3 people doesn't work that way.
So it just kind of that kind of makes me mad. And then obviously when the user reviews came out, it was like, yeah, it's a piece of trash.
It's just not that
You know
good.
what I mean? Yeah, it's a piece of trash.
I mean, we don't
I
have
just
to
think,
read. Huh?
no, but I think Rotten Tomatoes is a perfect argument. It's a perfect perfect example, right? All these things are a perfect example of how the elites have fell out of touch with the common, person, normal people, what we would call normal. Yeah. And this isn't saying like trans people aren't normal. No, I'm talking like there's definitely trans people that can take a joke.
Yeah.
And there's definitely trans people and gay people and lesbians that can take a joke. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And not only that can take a joke, they think normally about things. Yeah. And they're not crazy. Yeah. These are not those people. These critics, these are the elites that disgust me and should disgust everybody.
This ain't it, Chief.
This ain't it. Yeah, exactly. This ain't it, Chief. I tell you who I have been watching a lot of lately.
Who?
And it's Anthony Jeselnik. Jeselnik.
We talked about him last week.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Dude, I love him so much.
He's funny.
He has no filter.
No, he doesn't.
I love
That's
it.
what makes him funny.
I love it.
And he's super far left.
Oh yeah, dude, he makes fun of right people all the time. In his special, he made fun of gun nuts, and it's like, yeah, that's funny.
If you do it in the correct way, it's hilarious. You just have to frame your joke correctly.
Well, it's just got to be. It's just got to be funny. Yeah, like it's just got to be funny. At the end of the day, a joke is a joke, and what's funny is funny.
By the way, did you see the new Nuance Bro video?
No.
Guns?
What did he do?
So he was talking about guns. And he was talking about where the term assault rifle and assault weapon came from.
Where did it come from?
So the term assault rifle came from a 1970s
Russian.
No, it was 1977 small arms manual, and it defines assault rifles as select fire weapons with accuracy at full auto at up to 300 meters.
So it's full auto.
It's a full auto weapon would be an assault rifle. Assault weapon was termed in the 90s, and I bet you can guess. I want you to try and guess where the term assault weapons come from.
Bill Clinton.
No.
Al Gore.
No.
Is it a person?
It's a movement.
The Anti-Defamation League? I don't know.
No, that's a league, not a movement. What are you doing? No, it comes from gun control. Gun control. Is it a lobby or? Can't remember if it's a lobby or if it's an activist group. Could be considered the same thing, but basically, they created the term assault weapon to describe something that it was basically a descriptor to make everyone fear these weapons more.
That doesn't surprise me.
There's no definition that they apply to it. It's just said that the term assault weapon, when you talk about black guns as opposed to wooden guns, is used to scare people more. And if you can scare people more, that more people would be in favor of gun control.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. And he even showed on his videos, he showed a rifle, and he said, this is perfectly legal in the state of California. But say this rifle wasn't legal, just for purpose's sake. Say this rifle wasn't legal. If I took it apart, if I disconnected the trigger from the end, or the back half from the front half,
yeah,
and I kept them separate in my home, that would be perfectly legal under California law.
So if I just separate the gun.
Yes. So he's saying the laws that are on the books in California to stop people from committing mass murders, these gun control laws, are so ineffective that if you have two separate parts of an illegal rifle in your home and they're just not together, you cannot be arrested for that weapon.
Sounds about right.
Because the California court ruled that's the case. If they're separate in your home. So
that's amazing to me.
So it's not about saving the children. It's not about saving the children. It's not about saving people's lives.
It's about taking your guns.
It's about removing arms from the populace.
Yeah, 100%.
And anyone that tells you different doesn't know the history of the gun control debate. Mm-hmm. They don't know anything about guns. Yeah, and they don't know the laws on the books.
Well, this made me mad because and then we'll end with this. Okay? Is that right? So I actually got into it with one of our family friends. And she said that she made a Facebook post. Won't use her name. She said that it was I bet you could guess. So she said something like the NRA and people with pro Second Amendment never make any kind of, they never make any kind of solutions to this. And it's like, under what rock have you been living in, lady? I'm sorry, it was the NRA that helped pass the assault weapons ban back in the 90s. I'm sorry. And then secondly, the NRA is a certifier and teaches classes on how to use weapons properly. Same with the NCCAA. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm sorry, they've been doing it way longer than you have, and on top of that, they were for the arming of teachers. And yeah, you may not like that solution. I get it. But that's a solution. You can't say we're not coming up with solutions.
Well, not only that,
if we're giving solutions.
Not only that,
it would solve the problem. Do you think a student would go into a school that he knows that one of the teachers, preferably, like, obviously, it could be a woman, but probably a man, let's be honest with ourselves, a man, maybe the shop teacher, right, who's already a pro Second Amendment guy, has a gun on him. Do you think he's going into that school and shooting it up? Absolutely not. That would not happen.
Yeah. Another thing about it is what the NRA advocates for is, enforcing the laws that are on the books now, which in almost every mass shooting that we've seen, laws and protocols were not followed. Absolutely. And that allowed these people who either were not supposed to have a gun, were not supposed to be able to own a gun, or were mentally disturbed to own these weapons and then commit these crimes. You can look at Parkland. You can look at
several red flags.
Philadelphia.
That police didn't go in. The officers who were supposed to go in and stop the shooter failed to do so. They stayed outside.
Yep. Philadelphia.
Cowards.
A couple weeks ago. Philadelphia a couple weeks ago. Same thing. Guy had multiple gun charges, multiple drug charges. He shouldn't have been able to own a gun.
Still got a gun.
The only people that you hurt with laws banning these weapons are innocent people.
Absolutely.
You can say, well, we need to get the guns off the streets. Do you get all the drugs off the streets with all the drug laws we have in this country?
Yeah.
Is there no LSD?
That's a great point.
Is there no LSD anywhere in the United States?
No, it's because there's a black market for it. Is there no meth in the U.S.? Absolutely, there's.
Does no one die of heroin overdose in this country? Meth overdose?
Exactly. This is a great point. And people may come back at you and say, "Well, you're comparing guns to drugs, so it must be horrible. The guns must be terrible." It's like, no. The point is that just because you restrict something and ban it does not get rid of it wholesale. And what it actually does is it gives the bad guys the nuke, and the good guys don't have a nuke to counteract that nuke with. That's the whole point of nuclear disarmament. Is mutually assured destruction. So that's the only thing that stops the U.S. and Russia
or
not
China
bombing, or China
or any other major power
from not bombing the crap out of each other, is the fact that we all own stuff.
We all have this stuff, and no one wants to say, "Oh, let me push the button," because they know if I push this button, I'm also dead.
Yeah, it's mutually assured destruction.
Yeah,
and it makes sense. So that's why these criminals, you'll keep seeing this. You'll keep seeing criminals go into gun-free zones.
Yep.
Especially into Walmarts now. That Walmart has gotten rid of
you can't carry in the store.
Ammunition. You can't carry in the store, which doesn't make any freaking sense. Does not make any freaking sense. So yeah, we're gonna make sure that nobody can carry in the store. But if somebody walks in with a gun, starts shooting people, we don't have anything to stop it.
That's another thing. It's like you look at all the places that these people target. Where is it? Where guns aren't allowed.
Yeah.
Where
schools,
Walmarts, bars.
Yeah.
All these places, guns aren't allowed to be carried.
Yeah.
They go. These people are psychotic. These people are psychotic, but they're not stupid.
They're not stupid. They go in to kill as many people as possible, and they know that if there's even a chance of there being a gun in that area where they are, they know that they're going to get shot. Yeah. They know that there's the opportunity to get shot, and I won't kill as many people as I want to.
Yeah.
That's why they skip out. That's why they shoot at churches. Because they think, the church ain't going to have a gun. Well, that didn't work out in Texas, did it? That guy followed him and then shot him dead. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing, man. It's like, I don't know about you, but whenever I get, any kind of job that gets me enough money where I can get a...
Oh, yeah, I've already picked out the weapon I want.
I've
already got it picked out.
You do?
And I'm going to get my...
Is it a shotgun like Bill Burr has?
No, it's a
shotgun.
pistol.
It's got a good spread. Spread.
No, it's a pistol. Yeah, I have.
That's a great.
I've already got the gun I want. It's a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Ruger.
Ooh.
And I know the price of it. I know how much it costs.
How much does it cost?
It's about $450.
$450.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
It's not bad, and it's a gun I want to own because it looks nice. And also, really nice. I'm going to be applying for my carry permit.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be anywhere where I have no way of defending myself. I carry a baseball bat in my car just in case anyone tries to rob me.
Yeah, I have my golf clubs.
I have a baseball bat right behind my front seat. If I need to, I whip that out. But I mean, it's a real thing where people get into problems that they can't get themselves out of, and then they endanger themselves by not being armed. Dave Chappelle special, going back to that, he said every able-bodied African American needs to go out and register to buy a firearm, and I stood up and clapped because I agreed.
Well, no, the funniest part of the joke was they won't start taking away the guns until we got them.
Yeah.
That was great.
Although the NRA is going to be thrilled.
Oh, yeah. No, the head of the NRA, they've had several black head of the NRAs. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the last president of the NRA was black.
They encourage everyone that can to have a firearm.
To own a weapan. Yeah. Especially black families.
Yeah.
I would think especially black families. Especially if you live in a Chicago area. In an area in Chicago where it's almost impossible to own a weapon. I'm sure they want to try and get you to own a weapon, because then that's less of an opportunity for you to get robbed. They're going to rob the neighbor, not you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have an NRA sticker right outside your house. So, yeah, anyway, we can end it with that. I think that's a good place to end it.
Great place to end it.
Great place to end it. All right. Well, as always, thank you for joining us for the ZSBS podcast. I've been Zane Smith, and my co-host is...
Hi, I'm Zach.
He's Zachary Smith. Hi, I'm Zach. Please check out Zach at what's your website again?
My website is zachattacknews.wordpress.com. I write articles there. I also write for the ZSBS. So check them out there. On either of those, I have a YouTube channel, same name, Zach Attack News. Haven't posted there in a little bit, but I'm trying to work on a video right now. So
Yeah, and make sure you guys also make sure that you guys keep checking the ZSBS for more articles. Probably every other day. Probably. I know we want to get them out daily. Probably ain't gonna happen. We're both in college. We both got stuff to do. So, but yeah.
Oh, another
every
thing
other
is
day.
follow me on Twitter at Zachary Editor.
Yeah, follow Zach on Twitter, and we'll
I'm
see you
very
guys.
insightful.
Okay, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
All right, see ya.